Before we begin tonight's story, leave a comment and tell us which city you're listening to Midnight Letters from. And if you're still here by the end, try giving the story a rating from 0 to 10. Every feeling you share lets me know who these letters have truly reached. Now then, let's begin. Tonight, I sit by the window of my small apartment, watching the yellow streetlights spill onto the rain-soaked pavement. The city is still loud, still alive, still breathing, still spinning the way it always does, no matter how shattered someone's heart might be. I've written many letters in my life. Job applications, thank you notes, letters to my mother, letters to myself on every birthday. But this is the only letter that makes my hands tremble, that squeezes my chest, that forces me to pause and breathe every few lines. Because this is the letter I write to say goodbye. Goodbye to my marriage. Goodbye to the man I once believed I would grow old with. And goodbye to the foolish, blind version of myself, the woman who loved the wrong person far too deeply. I know some will judge me. Some will say I'm exaggerating, being dramatic, or ask, why didn't you leave earlier? But they never lived inside my body. They didn't watch the cracks quietly spread a little wider every day. They didn't know what it felt like to give your entire heart to someone and receive betrayal in return. I'm writing this letter to tell everything from the beginning. Not to blame, not to beg for sympathy, but to finally close a chapter with clarity, dignity, and completeness. I grew up in a small town outside the city, where everyone knows everyone, where every street leads back to childhood memories, where no one really has secrets. Or at least I thought so. He grew up about 20 kilometers away, far enough to feel like a different world, but close enough to slide easily into mine. Back then, he was good at everything. He could fix a car, play ball, crack jokes that made the whole group laugh. I liked people like him, people who lit up a room simply by walking into it. And I wasn't anything special. Not nearly as pretty as the other girls, not confident, not sharp. Just a simple girl who believed in sincerity, believed that if I love someone enough, they'll love me back. We met in school clubs, exchanged shy glances, borrowed notebooks, and one day he asked, "Want to walk home together?" First love is always like that. Gentle, simple, naive, and therefore dangerous. I loved him so much I forgot my own boundaries. And when you love too hard, you stop seeing the warning signs. He cheated on me for the first time in our final year of college. I still remember the feeling when I found out, like someone squeezed my heart tight, then just dropped it onto a cold tile floor. I left him, tried to be strong, told myself I'd be okay, but I cried myself to sleep for months. A year later, he texted me and asked to get back together, and I, being the most blind version of myself, said yes. I believed one thing: everyone can change. All they need is love. Naivety is the cruelest gift life gives us. For a while, he did change. He cared more, checked on me, bought gifts, spoke gently. I thought that was proof. Then I got pregnant. I thought, this is the family I always dreamed of. But life doesn't follow dreams. It follows people's true nature. I caught COVID while pregnant. He didn't ask about me. Not even once. Not a single text. Not a call to ask if I was okay. I lay in a small room burning with fever, barely able to stand, holding my stomach in fear for the child inside me. And he disappeared. That was when I understood something I only dared to admit years later. He never truly loved me. He only loved having someone who loved him. As the wedding approached, a voice inside me screamed, "Don't marry this man." I tried to call it off. I told my family. But in the small town where I grew up, saving face matters more than children's happiness. The invitations are sent. Everyone knows. Don't embarrass the family. There's a kind of invisible pressure Americans call small-town guilt. It doesn't kill you outright, but it suffocates you slowly. I walked into my own wedding numb, and during the ceremony, he invited the woman he cheated with. I stood under the bright lights, everyone smiling, offering blessings, while my heart went silent and cold. Weddings are supposed to be unforgettable. Mine was the day I started dying inside. He slept separately, didn't touch me, didn't ask what I needed, didn't share a single joy or sorrow. Even when I gave birth, he claimed he was busy and didn't show up. I screamed through contractions alone, feeling like I might die, while he was somewhere living a life untouched by us. Weeks after the birth, He still didn't care. His mother scolded him. He walked away. I held my baby, exhausted in postpartum pain, struggling with depression and fear, while the man called husband was nowhere to be found. I suspected he was cheating again. No proof, but women's intuition is rarely wrong. He and that woman kept meeting for years. Worse, he talked to her about me, about my body, about my tears, about my private moments. Not everyone kills you with a knife. Some kill you with cold cruelty. I remember that day clearly. I stood in our small kitchen, the fridge humming behind me, my baby sleeping nearby. I opened his phone, the one he always hid. I saw everything. Messages, pictures, plans, conversations they had while I was pregnant, while I gave birth, while I raised our child alone. My legs gave out. I collapsed on the floor. And I cried. Not the soft kind. The kind that comes from the deepest part of you, where grief becomes sound. I cried for myself, for the years I wasted. For my child, born into a family where only one parent tried. For my parents, who wanted me happy, but I threw myself into misery. That day, I realized I had died many times in this marriage, but today, I chose to be reborn. He didn't support the child, didn't help with medicine, hospital bills, food. He contributed nothing except an embarrassing $3 million a month for a family of 3. When we lived together, he gave nothing. When we didn't, he gave even less. He ate at his parents' house, leaving me and my child eating instant noodles. Every time I asked for a divorce, his mother, kind but trapped by old beliefs, would stop me. For the child. So the baby has a father. But here's what I want to say to anyone who thinks that. An absent father is better than a bad one. A happy mother is worth more than a rotten marriage. I tried, I forgave, I hoped, but you can't save a house that's rotten from its foundation. Today, I write this letter to say goodbye. Not goodbye to him. He left long ago, but goodbye to the version of me who lived in this marriage. The weak girl, the girl who accepted cruelty, the girl who believed she didn't deserve happiness, the girl who stayed because she feared judgment. I'm leaving her behind, and I'm stepping forward as someone new. A strong mother, a woman who knows her worth, a human being brave enough to walk away. I used to fear gossip, but no one lives for me. No one hurts for me. No one raises my child for me. So why should I live a life they want? Tonight, I watch my child sleep, his tiny hand curled around my finger. He doesn't know what I've endured, and thankfully, he doesn't need to. He only needs a mother who is strong, loving, and peaceful. And to become that mother, I have to leave. This is not a letter of resentment. It is a letter of gratitude and farewell. Thank you, marriage, for the most expensive lesson of my life. Thank you, wounds, for teaching me to cherish kindness. And thank you myself for surviving this far. Tomorrow, I will file for divorce. I don't know what lies ahead, but I know this. From now on, I choose happiness. I choose peace. I choose myself. Thank you for staying until the very end of this letter. I know it's not easy to listen to a story like this. Some pains feel cold, even when we only hear them from afar. And I believe there were moments when you, just like me, wondered, how can someone endure so much for so long? But the truth is, in love, we always hold on to hope. Hope they will change. Hope we can be good enough for them to love us back. Hope that if we try just a little harder, things will finally get better. And sometimes those hopes keep us in places where our hearts are slowly breaking. So tonight, after hearing her story, I want to say something to anyone who is living in a marriage or relationship that hurts. You are not selfish for choosing to walk away. You are simply choosing yourself. Divorce is not a failure. Leaving a place where love no longer lives might be the greatest act of courage you ever make. If you are going through something like this, please remember, you deserve love. You deserve respect. You deserve to be heard every single day. And sometimes an ending isn't the final chapter, but the first doorway to a quieter, kinder life. I hope that no matter how heavy the story was, you will still find your own light. Thank you for listening until the very end. If you have a story, a letter you want to share, feel free to send it to me, because maybe your words are exactly what someone out there needs to hear. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you won't miss the next letters. I'll see you again here at Midnight Letters. Good night, and may your heart rest gently.